Hello again and welcome to Tips with Andrew. I am Andrew Sapiano. Thank you so much for joining me on this happy Friday. Happy Friday. I hope you guys are had past tense an awesome week. Rocked out whatever goals, hopes, plans, dreams, ambitions you had, and are as happy as me for the weekend. Oh, long weekend too. Oh man, this is what an exciting time to be alive right now. Quickly before we get started here, next week I believe is convention. I think it starts on Wednesday, so there is still time. A few days left to get tickets. I'm so excited. This is actually one of my favorite times of the year. If you are at all interested in essential oils, alternative wellness, holistic nutrition, anything like that, definitely this is an event you do not want to miss. It's a week-long event, information, education, community event, science behind the oils, why they work, how they work, why you should be interested, customer testimonials, new product launches, exclusive product launches. I'm telling you, the list goes on and on and on. There's so much cool stuff happening. It's going to be held in person as well as online. I don't know how convenient in person would be for nowadays, or like this time, but definitely reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message, and we'll get you rocking and rolling as well as we could. Oh my goodness, I can't actually believe that it's a week away. This is actually super exciting. I thought we had a little bit of time, but that's another thing. Today is what, September 1st? It is? Yes. No, we are September 2nd. Holy guacamole. So we are the second day of September now, 2022. Wow. Honestly, wow, right? Like where has the time gone? I can't believe this year is almost over. And not only this year, but 2022 is almost over. I feel like in my specific life, right, my circumstances, the last 2 years have just been a blur, right? And, you know, I can't even believe that it's been 2 years since the world shut down, right? And you know, it's almost been 3 years, I guess we will now, because 2023 in March will be the third year, I guess, anniversary, if you will. Yeah, what a great time to be alive. Holy jeebus. So let's actually get right into today's topic. We're going to keep going with our newly found awesomeness that we have decided to do over here. And today we are actually making Fridays Financial Fridays, talking a little bit about how to get your finances in order, how I got my finances in order, you know, how I'm currently doing on my path, and just some things that I've learned throughout you know, my process that I feel can be very beneficial to other people. You know, especially nowadays, right? We're all learning that, you know, as much as we want to believe is amazing, the government does. They have a lot of different plans for our life than we have planned for our life. So, you know, and our financial goals don't always match up together. So that's why we need to really do what we can in order to take control of our finances. This is actually the best time of, you know, in history that you can actually do the most for yourself in order to take back your financial freedom, achieve financial wellness, right? And actually be at a position of time, as much as, you know, our cost of living has gone up and, you know, the raises haven't really matched that. There is a lot of things that we can still do to take control of our finances, regardless of the amount of money that we make, the amount of money that we owe to other people, the amount of, you know, the amount of work that we can put in. There's so many things that we can do. We just have to learn a few tips and strategies, and that's where I wanted to come on, give some tips that help me. Hopefully they help you too. Hopefully you get some value out of this. And who knows, maybe use one or two of these in your own life. Start taking control of your finances, getting your life back, right? Because there's nothing really, I don't know the exact number, but I believe it's 50%, and I think it's something more like 70% of people nowadays they can't afford you know, $1,000 car bill that just happened, right? And most people don't have the, you know, quote unquote 3 months savings put aside, right? So that's where this is really a point in time where it's super easy to get all the information that you need. And actually, one of the quotes that I love more than anything is, just because it's easy doesn't mean that you'll actually do it. So what's easy to do is also easy not to do, right? So that's where, as much as it's easy, right, to get the information, to put in a plan to have a plan come to fruition, to put a plan together, to get organized, right? All of that stuff is easy to do. It's also easy not to do, right? And I mean, if you're anything like me, you never really made a difference in your life until, you know, you start really looking into it. I mean, when I, you know, when I had to quote unquote grow up, right, and become an adult, it really hit me the amount of stuff that, you know, that actually needs to be paid for, as well as, you know, you've also got to have a fund set up for, you know, vacation stuff, side ventures that you're doing, you know, weekend getaways, right? Because we still need to have some time to ourselves in order to get that, you know, to flip that off switch, I guess, if you will. So, without further ado, let's get right into today's topic. So, we are learning how to start to get your finances in order. This is just the basic information. There's nothing really too flashy about what's going on back here. You know, it's all the boring stuff that nobody really wants to do. So my first one is actually use the information that you get. So the first, you know, 1A tip would be to get the information, but also to use the information. Because like I said just a little bit ago, what's easy to do is easy not to do. So it's easy for you to get the information, and it's easy to use the information and implement the plans and the processes, but it's also easy not to do. It's so much easier, or it's not so much easier, it's very easy to go on with the intention of, you know, looking up how to be better with the finances, how to make more money, how to put a plan together, right? How to invest in the stock market. And it's really easy to find all that stuff. And it's also really easy to have that, you know, that in mind, and then get on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok and start scrolling, and then just get, you know, all of a sudden a couple hours have gone by and you don't even really know, you haven't even started to look for what you're thinking about. And that's, you know, it's no fault of your own. That's just human nature. But that's where I talk about, right, using the information that you get. For me, there's two books that really help me more than anything. The first one is called The Millionaire Teacher. It's the 9 rules of wealth that you should have learned in school. This one is actually really awesome. And then another one is called Why We Want You to Be Rich. It's by Robert Kiyosaki and Donald Trump. That one's really cool. This Millionaire Teacher one right here, the 9 rules of wealth, it really talks about stuff that you don't learn in school. It's that you should have learned in school, but you don't. And school, you know, it's a really, oh man, it's become such a big scam. But, you know, at the same time, school is one of those things where you really want to grasp all of the experience and the information that you can, soak it all in, and get what you can out of school so that you can put it into the real world. And, you know, some of it is useful. So the first, I'll just quickly about what this book's about, right? The first one is Spend Like You Want to Grow Rich. So it's spend, you know, that's the main thing right there, right? Live below your means. Spend like you want to be rich, right? Rich people don't spend every penny that they have. One of the things that was actually taught to me was if you want to spend the whole dollar, you go to the other side of town and take a look at the people that spend the whole dollar. Right? There's a side of town where the people spend their whole dollar, and if that's what you aspire to be, then this probably isn't the right topic for you. And then it talks about using compound interest, getting your money working for you early, small fees, pack big punches, talking about credit cards, right? Using it properly. Credit cards are a huge, really big deal. Conquer the enemy in the mirror, which is you, right? For me, my dad always told me that money burned a hole in my pocket, and I never really took it into consideration until I had to spend my own money, and I realized that I don't have a whole lot of it at the end. And then it talks about investing, right? Investing with the portfolio, round the world ticket to investing, which is ETFs from different countries. No, you don't have to invest on your own. You can get a broker or something like that. You can go to the bank. And then the one of the last one it talks about is I don't actually remember. Oh, avoid seduction. Right? So there's always somebody selling you a new shiny thing. And for me, I get really, you know, I get really, you know, tamed down, I guess, if you will, or boggled down by, you know, new shiny things, things that I think will make my life easier, things that I think will, you know, enhance my life, bring me closer to my goals. And a lot of times, you know, it's Tina that needs to tell me that, you know, either A, I don't need that, or B, I have that, or C, I have had that and need to try something else. So that one, The Millionaire Teacher, The 9 Rules of Wealth That You Should Have Learned in School, is, you know, that's one of my favorite books. My brother told me about that one, and I actually really love reading that one. The other one that I've got here is Why We Want You to Be Rich. It's by Donald Trump and Robert Kiyosaki. What it talks about more than anything is the benefits of being rich versus the benefits, or versus the hardships of being poor, right? Rich people get more that they want, right? Rich people tend to be treated better. Rich people get tax breaks, right? If you have a business, or if you're real estate investing, or, you know, even some sort of certain types of investors, they get tax breaks, right? You actually, one of the things that I'm learning now is Elon Musk is getting a lot of tax credits for his the electric vehicles, right? So that's another thing that the governments are trying to incentivize companies to be more green, I guess, if you will, by giving them tax credits or because they're trying to be green. They also get tax credits for being a business, right? For helping create jobs in society, for helping to you know, bring workers in and create cash flow for the economy. So there's a lot of benefits to being rich. There's a lot of benefits to owning your own business, real estate, you know, stuff like that. So those two books are two that I would definitely suggest reading. Not only reading, but using the information that it tells you, because there's so much information to get, there's so much information to be had, but until you start using it and putting it into play for your own life, you don't really realize how beneficial the information is. Do the research, get the information, put the plan into fruition, and watch it. Just watch it. That's the best part about the plan, right? It's not rocket science, and you can see it kind of real time working out for you. Number 2, follow a budget. First, you have to make a budget, then follow it. I promise you, this is going to be one of the most boring things that you will ever do in your life, and there is nothing fun or exciting about making and following a budget. I can promise you that. But the budget is there for a reason, and it works. It works if you work it. That's really the very base of it. And then for me, what I did to follow my budget is I actually what I did was made a few more savings accounts in my bank account. So when my pay comes in, I get it automatically taken out of my bank, put into these savings accounts, and then I don't have to actually worry about it. That's one of the things that the one part of the book talks about is you know, we can be very you know, easy on ourselves. So when we are tasked with automating with moving over our expenses, we can kind of, you know, emotion comes into play, and we kind of don't want to do one thing, and we kind of, you know, have a different aspect of the way that we want to do something, or we want to spend something differently. That's where our emotion comes into play. That's why we have to get it automated. So we take our emotion out of it. It automatically moves accounts. It automatically goes into whatever account that you want it to. So therefore, you don't ever have to think about it, and you're always constantly moving money around. One of the best things that I actually did that helped me with my budgeting and kind of making a forced, you know, kind of a forced savings account, if you will, quote unquote, is getting money taken off my check. Right, I get money taken off my paycheck every single week as kind of like a tax deduction and it's not a tax deduction, it's just a payment deduction that comes off my pay into a savings account, right? That I don't actually have any, I can't, I physically have to go into my workplace and get that taken off if I don't want that to be on there anymore. So that's really one thing that's been more beneficial for me than anything, getting it taken right off my check so I don't even see it in my bank account. It goes into a separate savings account that I actually have to go into that that bank physically to take the money out, right? So I mean, there's so many loopholes that there's so many hoops that I have to jump through in order to get that money for myself. So that's really where the Force Savings account has helped me more than anything. But this is, you know, making and sticking to a budget is as easy as it sounds, right? What's easy to do is easy not to do. So it's easy to make a budget and to stick to it, but it's also easy not to stick to it. It's also easy not even to make it, right? The budget is what you have to do in order to see what kind of money you have. You have to see what your income is and what your expenses are, because you can't possibly know if you're getting ahead, or even, you know, I mean, I guess you could see that you're falling behind if you never have enough to make the money, the payments on your bills. But how can you possibly know if you're getting ahead if you don't know how much your income you're bringing in and you don't know how much expenses are going out? You need to know those numbers, because then you can know whether or not you're on plan. Back it up a little bit, make a plan, right? You want to make a plan on what your money is doing for you, and then that way you can plug those holes of the budget and you can really make it easy. Tina found a book that she uses, but there's a whole bunch of things. You go on Pinterest, it's a quick Google search away. You know, monthly budget planners. There's a whole bunch of books about it. Anything that you can possibly get your hands on, I suggest using that. For me, I don't really go into too, you know, fancy things. That's more Tina's area. That's why I let her take care of it. For me, I just write on a piece of paper budget. Money coming in, money going out, how much I have at the end of the month. A lot of times, right, there's not as much as we would like. A lot of times there's too much month at the end of the money, right? We get into that scenario. But for the majority of times, making and sticking to a budget is really what helps me more than anything, right? If I can see where my money's going, because money, like I mentioned, money burns a hole in my pocket. But if I can make it burn a hole in the right places, right, send it out to the right things to have it actually working for me, that's where it can be very beneficial for me. So I can promise you, making and sticking to a budget is going to be very, very, very beneficial for you, because you can see kind of everything that happens. And then another thing to that is, what you have to do to that is kind of write down your expenses. Every time you make a purchase, every time you even get an extra check or a bonus money or anything like that, even regular money, write it down in the budget, write it down on the piece of paper so you can see at the end of the month if you're actually sticking to the budget or where you need to make some changes. Number 3, get money working for you. You hear this all the time. You need to make money working for you. Compound interest is actually your best friend in the history of life. Compound interest is what, was it Albert Einstein, I think? Somebody referred to it as the 8th wonder of the world, right? So it is actually your best friend, and it will turn a little bit of an investment into an extraordinary amount of money over the long period of time by compounding interest on top of interest. That's what it is. It's interest on the interest that you're compounding, right? So you get your interest payments and then you get interest on top of that, and it's an amazing phenomenon once you see it working. This is what I'm talking about. Once you get these things starting to work for you, you can see them working. You can, as soon as you start, you can understand exactly what's happening because you see the numbers flowing, right? And when you see the numbers, you can understand what's happening. It's nothing more than a math equation. This goes back to my original thing, school, right? You learn math, you learn your science, you learn all this stuff, and therefore you can help you in the real world when you need to know about your budget, when you need to know about how to get money to work for you. Whether it be, you know, the stock market, real estate, your own side business, whatever you need to do to get money working for you right now, right? And the majority of things that people will tell you to do is to open up an account at a bank and invest in mutual funds, right? That's the easiest way. That's the easiest thing you can do in order to make money over the long run. It's not necessarily the funnest. Like I said, a lot of these things, they're not the funnest, but they work. Right? The stock market has an uncanny ability. As much as we're in a real down cycle, everything in life doesn't last forever. So as much as we're going down, it's never going to last forever. It's going to come back up. And as much as it goes up, right, it doesn't last forever. It's got to come back down. So everything that is down right now, this is actually what Warren Buffett refers to as his Christmas, right? Everything is on sale right now. So he's actually, you know, he's the type of guy that is loading up on all sorts of stocks and bonds and mutual funds, ETF, anything that you can think of is getting stockpiled right now because they're at such good price points to where there's a lot of money to be made. This right now, we will look back, there's what, like 3 or 4 times in history where a lot of money has been made, maybe more than 3 or 4 times, but where a lot of money has been made. This is going to be one of those points of times where we look back at and understand that a lot of money got made during this period of time. As much as it seems like it's, you know, it's crumbling around you, and you know there's nothing really that you can do to sort of, you know, break the fall or get back any sort of, you know, sense of stability in your life. I can promise you that eventually this will end and stuff will go back up. Whether it be, you know, whether it be the stock market or the housing market or your life goals right now or whatever's happening in your life that is bringing you down at this current moment is going to get better. It happens. It just has to happen. There's no way that things can be bad forever. It can't happen. No way. So that's why we need to do what we can. And this is why this period right now is one of the best periods to get into something like the stock market, where everything is quote unquote on sale and you can make a lot of money by you know, investing a little bit now, as opposed to when the companies are, what did I just see? A stock like Tesla, for example, I saw it at a 52-week high of like $1,300, give or take, per share. And when I looked at it a little bit ago, it was right around the 700 mark, right? So that's a 100% loss. No, 50% loss, I guess, if you will. But that's what I'm talking about. It's so much better to buy Tesla stock at 700 and watch it grow to 1400 or 13, whatever, than it would be to get it at 1300 and see it fall down to 700. I'm not saying that you can time the stock market. I'm not saying that I can time the stock market. Timing the stock market is not something that that will make you a lot of money. Time in the stock market is what will make you a lot of money. You want to get in there, and then you want to keep getting in there, right? Because when you buy stuff on sale, it's just going to make you a whole lot more money. So get your money working for you, whether that be whatever way that you feel comfortable in setting up or getting your money working for you. That's the way that you need to start. Just start somewhere and let your money grow from there. That's all you can do. What's the best time? The saying is the best time to start was 20 years ago. The second best time to start is right now. Start right now. Number 4, side hustle, right? Side project, side business, side hustle, whatever you want to call it. Something to help you make a little bit more money on the side. Let's get real here, right? Inflation is kicking a lot of our butts right now, right? Stuff costs a lot more today than it did even a couple months ago. And chances are our raises at work are not, you know, they're not climbing at the same rate that prices are. So that's where we need to do something to help ourselves get a little bit of money on the side, right? Whether it be selling something that you think that you can make money off of, or you know, providing a service for people. What the new thing is Amazon selling. I don't actually understand that too much, so I can't talk too much about that. But there's a lot of people making a lot of money selling on Amazon. selling products or services. Network marketing is a huge one, right? That one's a great way to make online money where you don't actually have a lot of overhead. I actually love network marketing because of that overhead, right? If you quick side, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but quickly, right? If you were to own a pizza store, you have to find a location. You have to find, ovens to make the pizza. You have to find, ingredients to make the pizza. You have to hire employees. You have to get, the tables and the chairs and the lights and the decorations on the wall. And all that is overhead, right? All that is not even making you any money. It's just stuff that you need in order to own a pizza shop. If you work for a network marketing company, you literally have your online store, which for me, I'm with doTERRA, it cost me $45 a year to have my, online store, because I just repurchased my membership. So, I mean, $45 a year for me is nothing. But for the pizza store, there ain't no way that's costing you $45 a year. I can promise you that, right? So, that's where we need to, and you know what? I can promise you that I've done this. It is nothing more than a Google search away on, side businesses that can make money, that can make a lot of money, or how to make money, in my pajama pants, or, what can I do while at work to make a little bit more money, right? So there's a whole lot of things that you can do in order to make a little bit of extra money, and that's really what we're looking for, right? We're just looking for a couple extra dollars here and there. We're not looking, for anything, extravagant that, we need so much money to buy another helicopter or a yacht or something, right? We're just looking for something a little bit extra so that we can have a little bit more at the end of the month than, just enough to cover groceries and whatever other things that are on there, right? If you at all need some help with any of this stuff, definitely reach out to me. Drop me a comment, send me a message. I would love to help you out with any of this stuff. My last tip more than anything is to consider a life coach, right? Life coach, personal finance advisor, somebody that can help you through the quote unquote dark times, right? Money, I actually heard is the #1 cause of divorce, right? So money is not ever going to be an easy situation or an easy thing to talk about or deal with or anything of that matter. And I can promise you that, there's a couple arguments that happen in our house when it comes to revolving around money. But that's what happens, right? So if you need somebody to talk to, somebody to help, somebody to bounce ideas off of, somebody to help you kind of look at the underlying issue, right? We don't know what we don't know. Book a free consultation today with a certified life coach like myself, and I would love to help you on your way to living the best life you can, to have that dream life that you want. Alrighty. That's all I got for you for today. I really hope you enjoyed this. I know I had a lot of fun making it. I love teaching about this stuff. Feel free to share this with your friends, family member, perhaps somebody from your team that you feel needs to hear this. If you'd like to learn more about essential oils, starting a side project that doesn't interfere with anything that you're doing, getting your hands, booking a free consultation with a certified life coach, definitely reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message, and we'll get you rocking and rolling. Thank you so much for joining me. I really hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day and an even better weekend, and I look very forward to talking to you again. I love you guys. Bye for now.